Hey everybody, it's Dina Rika with the Creativity Cave, and look at this fun fall card that I have to share with you today. This is combining two kind of unlikely sets together, I think, anyway. I've got the Oh So Eclectic stamp set, which I just love, and I have a brand new online class coming out for this one. And then I also have the Pocket Full of Sunshine, which of course you might think is just for summer, but you would be wrong. So I love the look, and I combined the pocket with the wood textures DSP, which is part of our buy 3 get 1 free special this month. So let me show you how I put this card together because it's really easy. I have a couple of tips to make it even better for you, and I think you're going to be excited. So first of all, I'm going to fold my early espresso card base in half, and then I'm also going to put a card on the inside, which I don't think, nope, I didn't on my sample, but we're going to put a layer on the inside because this is such dark cardstock, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. Now I took and die cut the pocket die that coordinates with the little piece or Pocket Full of Sunshine stamp set, and I die cut that with my wood textures DSP, and you can see each side is a little different, so you can pick whichever side you like the best. Now I don't need to make this into an actual pocket, so I'm actually just going to trim off the tabs that are scored on here because we just don't need them, and it's pretty easy to just trim on those score lines. And then I also will take and do a little sponging because everything like this is great with sponging. But I have to show you, look at the color combination I picked out. Now I don't normally use this many colors, but I really like the look. So I've got Early Espresso, of course, Pear, Pizzazz, Berry Burst, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Night of Navy. Now you could switch Old Olive for Pear Pizzazz if you wanted. In fact, I could even add it to this. And then I also could have switched the Crushed Curry with So Saffron. I think that would be really pretty as well. This just kind of brightened it up with the brighter Crushed Curry color. Okay, now before I move any further along, I'm going to put a little protection down. Okay, as one might say, keep it covered. Okay, all right, so I'm going to take my Early Espresso and just sponge the edges of my pocket. Now you could stamp the pocket on here in the Early Espresso ink. I didn't choose to do that, and I mean, it's just your preference. You certainly could if you wanted. I didn't necessarily think this had to be a pocket per se, but I just like the look of this. Okay, so I've got that on there. Then I'll put this aside. Then I'm going to stamp. I'm just grabbing my scrap piece here. It got away from me. I'm going to stamp on a scrap. Now this is just left over from trimming my cardstock layers down. And I will stamp Pocket Full of Sunshine on here. And I think this is perfect for fall. You might think this is a sentiment just for spring or summer, but actually I think it totally works for fall, because sometimes after some dreary days, actually like we've had here, it's lovely to see a sunny day. Now I'll take my triple banner punch and punch the ends of this like so. Now I'll trim this down so I can get that trimmed out a little easier. And I might not have left a long enough space. We'll see, because I want it to go across my whole pocket. Yep, we're good. Awesome. I just want it to be at least as wide as my pocket. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is take another punch. And this is the Decorative Ribbon Border Punch. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it, but the link is in the description of this video for this punch, or you can go to my blog post and see all of the details on here because I looked the actual name up when I wrote the post. Okay, so I'm gonna punch this. This one takes a little oomph because it's punching all kinds of detail out, but it's so pretty. So I just moved it over, lined the design up, and then I have this gorgeous design. So I can use either this edge which is just a scallop, or this edge, which is, you know, this pretty eyelet pattern. So I chose the scallop. So let me take that. And this adds, I think, just a pretty little splash of color to kind of tie everything in together. So I'm going to take this, turn it over, run a line of fast fuse down the bottom edge here. And then I will attach this layer. Sometimes if it goes off, I kind of curl it to make sure all the adhesive is on the back side. All right, and then I just am gonna adhere it like so. And that just adds a cute little touch of color. Okay, I'll set that aside and let's get to the stamping a little bit. Now I have another fantastic tip for you on here. So I'm going to take my framelit and kind of position it on here so I can see where it actually will be. So I'll take a pencil and just kind of do some, just trace my framelit. I don't really need the bottom, but just the top and the sides. That way I know exactly where this is going to be positioned so that I can position my stamping in here the way I'd like it. All right, so I'll take my stamps, and I actually started with the leaf. And I think it's, normally I would stamp the leaves later, but I think it's easier to stamp the leaves right off the bat. Okay, so I'll stamp my pear right there. And then I'm going to have another one coming out here. Now here's what I ran into when I was trying to do this before, is I didn't want it to poke out that edge. So I'm just going to mask that off with a Post-it note really easy, like so. Oh, that's not exactly how I wanted to do it. I should have put it on like this. Oh, we'll start over. It's okay. All right. So let me show you that one more time really quick. Okay, so I'm positioning this because I want my pocket to fit pretty low. And I really just kind of need that much. I don't need a ton on here. And this will come off with an eraser, by the way. So I'm not worried about that. Okay, so I'll stamp that. And then here, I'll stamp like that. There we go. That's a little bit more what I was looking for. Okay, and then I'll add in my flowers. This is the easy part. Of course, I love that. First of all, I have a scrap piece of paper. I'm going to stamp this flower, and you can see on this stamp set, it's one of those ones where it's really cool because the texture is kind of built into the stamp. So you get the beautiful watercolor effect without actually having to do any watercoloring, which I kind of love. I like to do stamps like that. Isn't that cool? The color you get on that. Okay, next I'm going to stamp the detail image on top, and I did drop one of my blocks. Here it is. Now I did all the details. Okay, so I'll do the detail in Early Espresso right over the top, like so. And then you can see in the center, I've got a little space. So I actually did the center in Night of Navy, pardon me. And I'm going to stamp this little centerpiece a few times because, like, look, you can see that time I didn't really get it quite on there. So I'm just stamping it and moving it around a little bit just to kind of fill it in. And there is my center. Okay. So I just picked it up and stamped it several times. I only ringed it twice, I think you could see. Okay, now this piece I'm going to die cut with the coordinating framelits that come in my stamp set. Ooh. Okay, so I'll be right back. So you can see this cuts that out perfectly for me. I'll set that aside. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add my flowers. So for that, I'm going to take and stamp the first one in Cajun Craze. I love Cajun Craze for adding a wonderful fall touch to my projects. So I'll stamp that up there, and I'm kind of running out of room over here, so I think I'm going to stamp the other one over here in Crushed Curry. And let me just clean that off quick. Woo! Things are flying in my room. Okay, and you can see this gives you that watercolor texture as well, which I love. And then I think I'm going to take, this is like the cheater way to mask stuff off. I'm going to just kind of trim, well, just trim this rather than like actually cut it all out and be fancy about it. I'm just kind of throwing a little on there, and then I'll put this one over here. So check that out. Now, if I would have thought about it, I'd have left that on because I need to stamp the detail on top as well. Okay, we'll do that now. Uh-oh, what'd I do with my ink pad? It's the one I have closed. Figures. Okay, so I'll put that one right there. And then this one full strength right there. Well, they were both full strength, but not covered, I guess, is more of what I was trying to say. Okay, so that looks good. Then, of course, I'll position my flower right here. So that looks good. I got a little smudge here, so that makes me a little mad. I'm going to take my eraser. I'll show you what this is in a second. One of my customers sent this to me, and it has kind of saved the day several times. You can see I've gotten rid of most of it now. And what this is called is a sand eraser 512A from Tombow. It's a mono sand eraser 512A. You can get these at like actual art stores or on Amazon. Okay, now let's put it all together. I'll take and put this right here, popped up, of course, because as you well know, everything is better popped up. So I don't normally use 5-dimensionals, but when I do, it's for an awesome card. Okay, now I made this whole card for a tic-tac-toe challenge, and I meant to write the tic-tac-toe down before I started filming, but I forgot. But basically, it works like this. And I believe the one I did was just straight down the middle. But they in this, it's on my blog post, but like you'll have words like wood, sequins, leaf, and then maybe there's a color like green or twine. I'm trying to remember what was on this particular one. Pumpkin. I don't know. So anyway, you just pick, and then there's something here and here, and then you pick one of the ways to do a tic-tac-toe and then create a card using those items. It's kind of a fun challenge. So, okay, back to my card, because I know I always do these tangent things. So I've popped my pocket up on top. I'm going to also pop up my sentiment on top of my pocket. And then I'll add my flower. And again, I just love how pretty this is. I can see I have just a little bit of my ribbon border showing, so I'm just going to snip that off. There we go. That's kind of picky, but okay. And last but not least, I'm going to pop up my flower, so it's right there. All right, and then as you can see, the pencil lines are not visible, so you, did I erase them? No, I didn't. So you can erase them, or you can just, they'll be covered, so it's no big deal. And then finally, I wanted to embellish this a little bit to make it kind of fun. So I've got some of our metallic sequins assortment and some fine tip liquid glue. This is perfect for adhering these wonderful pieces. Now you're going to unscrew the top of this cap, not this part, and then the little thingy right here keeps it from clogging, which is wonderful. So what I like to do is put some sequin, put little dabs for where I want my sequins to be. And so I've got 2 there, 1 there, thinking 1 right there, and then another couple here. Now the key is to remember where you put all of those once you're done. And the other key is being able to see putting this little stopper back in. And I've got it. Oh no, I don't. Oh my gosh, sorry. I know this is probably like terrible on the screen. Oh, I'm having issues. And I think I might have just messed this up a little. That's never happened to me. Ah! Okay, so we'll do that after I'm done shooting the film. Okay. You don't have to watch me fumble through all of that. So I've got my little sequins, and I'm just going to place them on here like so. And there's different sizes too, so I like to pick kind of some large ones, some medium and small, so that they're not all exactly the same, because I think that makes it kind of for some fun looks. And you can do different colors. Like I'm kind of picking the coppery looking ones just because I think that goes with my card. But like there's gold too, so let me see. I think I've got a gold one here. We'll stick that one up here. And then one more sequin that goes right there. So there we go. That just adds a little bit of glitz to our card. And one more touch, which is going to be our copper trim. And this is cool, funky stuff. So I'll just take and tie a bow. And then I'm going to kind of mess with this because it sort of expands, as you can see. Isn't that cool? And it kind of stays with the shape that you make it go. So it's fun, funky stuff. I'm just going to trim that a little bit on both ends, and then I can spread the ends just a touch as well. And it just kind of stays that way. Isn't that fun? It's just a little different. So then I'll just tack that on my card right here. We're almost done. I know I've kind of been talking about all sorts of stuff, so I'm going to use a glue dot to attach that. And maybe I'll stick it right here on this card. I put it down. I'll show you my sample. I put it down in a slightly different place, but I kind of like it there. Okay, so there we go. And then the last thing I'm going to do is adhere this to a panel of Berry Burst, just to kind of carry the color scheme through our card. And I love this Berry Burst color for fall cards. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. I had so much fun with Berry Burst and Lemon Lime Twist in the summer, but now I'm finding Berry Burst is fantastic for fall cards as well. So I hope you guys like it as well. I'll pull these backings off, and here is our masterpiece. So pretty. Oh, wait, there's one more thing. We're going to just jazz it up ever so slightly more as soon as I find my ink pad. Here we go. So I'm going to just stamp one of those there and one of those there. And then I'll do my crushed curry. You can see I cleaned really well. And then my Cajun craze. And then, ooh, I guess I could even add some greenery right there. And look at how pretty the inside now all of a sudden is. Yay! I love it. So I will tuck this inside my card. And I hope you enjoyed this. Of course, if you would like to purchase any of these items, or take my online class using the Oh So Eclectic stamp set, I have amazing cards and tons of extra samples to share with you. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video. The registration is also in the link or in the description of this video, and all the info is there. Of course, I really appreciate your business. And thank you so much for stamping with me today, guys. Bye!